So if you're looking to increase or optimize your testosterone, especially if you want to do it naturally, this video is for you. I'm Nick with the Upgraded Man Project, where I help men improve their bodies and minds. And in this video, we're going to cover exactly the steps you need in order to optimize your testosterone. Testosterone is super important, especially when it comes to changing your body, packing on more muscle, having more energy, having more focus, more productivity. Testosterone is essentially the essence of masculinity. And there's a big problem in the world today, and that is everyone wants to just resort to TRT, or they want to resort to some form of steroids. And I'm not to say that that is always a negative thing. In some cases, it's useful. But if you're a younger guy, if you're below 40, you probably don't need any of that. What I would recommend is you pay attention to this video, and if you stay till the end, I'm going to give you a link so you can get this exact testosterone optimization blueprint for free. And so basically, testosterone is the main hormone in males. So that's going to drive your strength, your energy, your performance. It's also going to dictate how your body burns body fat. It's going to help in regard to sleep, mood, so many different things. Sometimes I hear from guys, I lack motivation. Yeah, you can lack motivation, but from a chemical standpoint, if your testosterone is low, you're definitely going to be lacking motivation. And so this is going to help you get more out of your workouts, get more out of the gym, and ultimately build the body that you desire. Step one, we have to start with nutrition. Nutrition is the foundation for your testosterone. In order to do this through nutrition, you have to make sure that the quality of the fat that you're eating is super high quality. You may hear this thrown around in the industry. Seed oils are bad. These oils you shouldn't have. And there is some truth to that. Because if you think of the cholesterol in your body, that's basically the building blocks that you're going to need to make testosterone. Now imagine trying to build your house on shitty ass building blocks. You're going to have a shitty house. But if you eat the proper fats and the proper cholesterol, you're going to have very solid bricks, very solid foundation in order to build your testosterone. I would recommend that you eat things like eggs, avocado, olive oil, coconut oil, grass-fed butter. You can use avocado oil, nuts, fatty fish, especially things like sardines, mackerel. These are amazing forms of healthy fat, and definitely if you're eating grass-fed beef and stuff like that, it's going to help you out tremendously. What you want to avoid is you want to avoid what we call seed oils. Those are things like canola oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil. These are essentially trans fats. This is what most restaurants use. This is what a lot of fast food places use. And so if you're eating this type of fat, it's literally going to affect your hormones. Not only that, it's also going to impact your liver. It's going to impact your digestion. And it's probably going to give you bad skin, bad acne, and things like that. All stuff you probably don't want. From a nutrient standpoint, the top two nutrients that are going to help in regard to testosterone are minerals. The primary minerals being zinc. So things like red meat, shellfish, pumpkin seeds, even things like chickpeas. Zinc can be found in a lot of different foods. If you are going to supplement with it, zinc is one of the nutrients you don't just, it's more is not just better, because too much zinc can actually pose a problem. Zinc can also impact the way you're absorbing vitamin D. And so I recommend about 20 to 50 milligrams a day. In regard to magnesium, magnesium is also found in a lot of foods. Spinach, almonds, dark chocolate, bananas. But the problem is a lot of people are deficient in magnesium. The reason being, even if you're eating grass-fed meat, even if you're eating pretty good food, the soil that the grass is grown in and the soil that the vegetables are grown in and the soil that the grass-fed beef is eating is actually deficient in magnesium to begin with. Magnesium is actually the most important mineral in the human body. It's responsible for over 300 functions in the body. So if you are going to supplement with it, which most people need to because they are deficient, I would recommend about 300 to 500 milligrams a day. In regard to protein and carbohydrates, those are going to be crucial as well. These are your macronutrients. So we hear protein, a really good number for protein is usually about a gram per pound of body fat. You don't really want to go over that. Reason is, especially if you're trying to do this naturally, you're going to put too much burden on your liver, too much burden on your kidneys. The body doesn't just infinitely eat infinite amount of protein. There comes an upper limit. So a good rule of thumb I like to personally follow, and I follow with a lot of my coaching clients, is 120 grams a day being the minimum threshold. As long as you hit that, more often than not, you're going to have enough protein in your day. If you do need a little more, or you're building muscle and that's your main goal, you're going to aim for 1 gram per pound of body weight. In regard to carbohydrates, they become important too. It's not that you just want to go carb free. Some people do have success with things like carnivore, but you do want carbs to come in because they're going to help support your thyroid. They're going to help support your adrenals. These are the very organs that are going to also affect how testosterone works in your body. They're also going to help regulate cortisol. That's your stress hormone. If you have too much stress or too much cortisol, that will actually suppress your natural testosterone. So just by lowering stress, you can increase your testosterone. The best sources of carbs are going to be sweet potatoes, rice, oats, fruit. What I would say is you don't want to go overboard with those either. If your goal is to be burning fat and getting a lean muscular physique, 100 grams a day is going to keep you in a fat burning mode. Days that you have more intense workouts, you're going to use about 150 to 200 grams a day. Some guys are going to say have more. Believe me, I'm able to stay about 10% body fat all year long. No bulking, no cutting. This is exactly how I've been doing it. This is what I help clients do as well. You want to avoid endocrine disruptors. What are endocrine disruptors? These are chemicals. These are artificial sweeteners, artificial dyes, colorings, processed foods. This is all the stuff that you're going to find in processed foods, snack foods, stuff like that. There's a lot of cleaner brands on the market. Also, if you're drinking, you do have to keep in account that alcohol has no positive benefit when it comes to testosterone at all. There's zero benefit. If you are going to drink, keep it to 1 to 2 drinks max. That's it. Because other than that, you're going to end up getting a hangover. It's going to affect your metabolism. It's just going to make things harder for you. If you are going for alcohol, I would recommend keep it clear. Tequila or vodka are going to work best. Ideally, I personally stay away from alcohol. I find the best results while doing that. You're going to get better sleep. You're going to get better gains in the gym. You also want to drink filtered water. Make sure that you're not just drinking regular tap water. Most tap water is going to have fluoride, heavy metals, other toxins. When you drink these, when you eat these, they actually get into your body. And it's very hard for them to get back out. They don't just magically leave. They actually sit deep within your fat tissue. So yeah, the more toxins you have, the harder it's going to be to burn fat, if that makes sense. In regard to training for testosterone, you want to lift heavy, compound movements, squat, deadlift, bench press, rows. This is all going to increase testosterone. I love to use weighted calisthenics because they're just as challenging, if not more so, and you're going to be able to work your joints at the same time. They're going to keep your joints nice and loose. You want to focus on progressive overload. A great rep scheme I have found is 5x5. So you're doing 5 sets for 5 reps. Once that weight becomes too much, so let's say we put 185 on the bench. You do 5 sets of 5 reps of 185. Once that becomes too easy, pick it up to 195, pick it up to 205, and then try to hit that for 5 sets of 5. Over time, you're going to find that your numbers are going up. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel stronger. Another mistake guys make is that they train too often. If you're trying to do this naturally, then you need to give your body a break. Ideally, every other day, a full body workout is going to give you better results. You'll see a lot of influencers online that go to the gym 6 days a week and do all these crazy bro splits. The reason they're saying that is because they're also using support. They're using TRT. They're using other stuff. If you're not using that, your body needs more rest, more recovery. Your Muscles are only going to grow when your body is at rest. Your muscles do not grow when you're in the gym. You're tearing down your muscle when you're in the gym, but then when you go to sleep at night, that is what's going to help build your muscle. In regard to running, a lot of guys make this mistake too. They want to get on the cardio machine or the treadmill, and they think, I'm just going to do an hour on the treadmill and things are magically going to be okay. No, you're training your body to be a fat storer. If you're going to do cardio, keep it to short, intense bursts, sprints, even walking, right? So walking on an empty stomach, fasted first thing in the morning is going to give you the best result. Aim for 5,000, 10,000 steps a day. That's going to be phenomenal. In regard to sleep, this is the number one most important factor when it comes to your hormones, especially testosterone. You want to aim for 7 to 9 hours of deep quality sleep. Sleep in a dark, cool room. The way to remember this is Dracula's tomb. 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit is usually ideal. I personally like to use a sleep mask, so that way I block out all the light. You're going to get deeper sleep that way. If you don't have one, you can get blackout curtains. Just try to keep the lights off as much as possible. Also, reduce blue light exposure. So reduce screens 1 to 2 hours before bed, or use something like blue light blocking glasses, which you can get on Amazon. Take magnesium 1 to 2 hours before bed. That can help you get deeper sleep. That can help you get better rest. And also, you want to stop eating about 1 to 2 hours before bed. That way your body has a chance to rest and digest, and that way it's going to restore itself. In regard to stress management, if you have too much stress, that's going to suppress your testosterone. So you're going to want to meditate. You're going to want to journal. You're going to want to practice deep breathing. I personally love to do yoga, mobility work, especially at nighttime. First off, it's going to keep you more mobile. It's going to help you prevent injury. Second, it's going to help you get deeper sleep because it puts the body in a rest and recover state. Vitamin D, super, super important. Try to get out in the sunshine 20 to 30 minutes a day if you can. If you're in the Northeast like I am, you want to supplement with vitamin D. About 5,000 IU a day is pretty adequate for most people across the board. That should cover your bases. Vitamin D is essentially almost like a hormone and not just a vitamin. It's responsible for quite a bit of things, and so you want to make sure your vitamin D is topped off. If you're going to use cold exposure or saunas, the trick is these are very beneficial, but when you use them will dictate how beneficial they are. I personally don't do too much ice baths, but I do use cold showers. Before you work out is the best time to use a cold shower or an ice bath, not after. The reason is because if you submerge your body in cold and ice right after you just finished working out, you're going to halt the healing process and you're going to actually slow recovery. After your workout, it's better that you use a sauna or heat therapy after the workout, or even on your rest days, especially if you have joint pain or tightness or stiffness. Sauna is going to help the body relax. You want to watch for endocrine disruptors, so things like plastics, especially when you're putting your food in containers. You want to put your food in metal or glass, because if you put your food in plastic, the plastic has a tendency to leach into the food, especially if there's acid. So if you have like tomatoes, tomato sauce, lemon juice, anything like that, balsamic vinegar, it's going to leach the plastic into your food, and that's going to destroy your testosterone. You want to use natural grooming products, natural body washes, natural soaps. Look at the label. The less ingredients, the better. There's a lot of good brands. Brands like Native. Native could be a pretty good brand. There's clean brands of deodorants and stuff like that. If you use conventional stuff like Old Spice and some of this other nonsense, you're literally putting a bunch of chemicals into your bloodstream. You want to limit soy-based foods. Soy is not going to help testosterone at all. Soy is technically a phytoestrogen. So in some studies, it has shown that it can start to raise natural estrogen. So in males, we have testosterone and we also have estrogen. We want to keep the estrogen as low as possible so testosterone can rise. You also see this in people that do supplements sometimes with TRT or things like that, sometimes they'll have this elevated testosterone and then their natural estrogen will start to come up and then they have to use an estrogen blocker. This is why I recommend trying to do this as natural as possible, if possible. Also, excess processed carbohydrates, too much bread, pasta, cereal, sweets, snacks. That's going to spike your blood sugar. It's going to affect the way insulin is. It's basically, they're going to be stored as fat on your body if you don't burn them off. So the less of that you have coming in, the better. Once again, focus on things like sweet potatoes, rice, oatmeal, fruit. This is a little controversial, but this can help out a lot. And so you either want to have more sex or you want to completely retain. Why I say that is because there has been studies that have shown that regular sexual activity will be or can be linked to increased testosterone levels. Just the pure intimacy, physical touch, things like that can really help with hormonal health overall. If you're not with a partner, do not just spill your seed like a moron. This is going to cause prolactin to rise, regardless of what these bros are going to tell you. No FAP or this or that. There's an actual chemical called prolactin, and every time you release, prolactin will rise in your bloodstream. Prolactin will lower your testosterone naturally. The more times you release prolactin, the less natural testosterone you will have. It's one of the easiest hacks you can do as a man is control yourself. If you have to release every 10 days, once a week, something like that, may help. Don't be sitting there choking a chicken freaking every day of the week, because all that's going to do, that's going to hold you back. It's going to sabotage your gains. It's going to affect your mood. It's going to affect your confidence. Overall, just not a good idea. And you want to remember that too much of a good thing will become a bad thing. So whether it's with a partner, whether it's not with a partner, too much of a good thing can become a bad thing. And also, last but not least, you want to focus on having a competitive, purpose-driven mindset, engaging in competition, sports. This is why lifting in the gym is amazing. It's creative competition. Everybody is sort of challenging each other. Everyone is pushing each other. Or if you want to play sports, that's good. Business challenges are also intense as well. If you're building a business or you're building a project or you're building a skill set, you're learning something, you have to be on point in order to get better at those skills. You want to pursue goals that excite you, that challenge you. Just being in this type of environment is going to help you. So you want to be around other men that are high testosterone, that you want to be around other men that are doing things, because when you're around that environment, it's going to force you to do things. And so you either want to build a tribe of high-achieving men that are going to help you push through, or if you're by yourself and maybe you don't have a good circle of guys around you, I recommend that you hit me on Instagram. You could DM me, and I'll give you the link so you could join the Upgraded Man Brotherhood, a bunch of high-achieving, like-minded men just like yourself, looking to self-improve, looking to become better, looking to level up in all areas of life. If that's you, let me know. Also, with that said, that's what I have for you in this video. If you found this helpful, or if you want the testosterone optimization blueprint, click the link in the description below, and you'll be able to download the blueprint completely free. And then that way you'll have the entire blueprint that we just went over here. And then that way you can review it on your own. But these are the exact steps you'll want to take, especially if you're trying to increase your testosterone or optimize your testosterone naturally. With that said, I'm Nick with the Upgraded Man Project, and I'll see you on the very next video.